Hey YouTubers, Mike Martin's here, Mike Martin's channel. I got a rants and lifestyle story for you guys to ask you guys what you guys think on your opinion of this. 25, 30 years ago when we'd get a news feed on the news on cable television, we would just take it as fact that it's true. And back in the days, a lot of reporters really had to work hard. They had to basically catalog everything on microfiche system. On a microfiche, they'd photograph and microfiche it in a system. And basically, catalog it and then re-dig it up for other stories and proving the facts in articles. Back in the days, a lot of the reporters were watchdogs for working for the media to protect our arses. Now, it's back in the days, how did we fact-check things 30 years ago? We didn't. We couldn't fact-check things. Unless we had a huge catalog of newspapers in our house that we've cataloged for the last 50, 60 years, that we could look up things and retrieve informations. And how do we do it back in the day? It was we just went on their word, right? Now, I'm seeing, in my opinion, the journalists nowadays are really lazy. They're not fact-checking everything. They're not really looking into if any of the stuff that they're making or producing or sending out is true. So the media is the message, but the problem is, at what point do we get to a we're at a level now where we could fact check anything within seconds. We could know who played in the 1966 Portuguese squad, who played for Portugal in 1966, who played left field. We could tell you that by looking it up within seconds. But how do we fact check back in the days? We didn't. Everything was kept on catalog through a microfiche system, photographed and put into a huge reserve somewhere in a huge archive somewhere. Now, things are different. And a lot of the news media systems are trying to say, like, don't call it fake news and don't call it that. It's like, well, a lot of the journalists, have they gotten super lazy? Do they even back check any of the stuff that they put out? Are they even looking at what's really happening out there? I mean, or are we living in this such a delusional state? Like, there's a lot of people, like back in the day, 20, 30 years ago, if you were mentioned in the news for a really bad lewd act, you were destroyed. You were done. You were done. You were finished. If you were brought up in the news media 20, 30 years ago, you'd leave town, you'd take off. You'd disappear. You'd move to Mongolia or something so no one could recognize you. But nowadays, people are walking around like the internet doesn't exist. There's so much stuff happening against, so much stuff, whatever, Hollywood, this, that, all this stuff happening, but people are walking around like the internet doesn't even exist. Anyways, I want to know your opinion on this. Like, it's just because the next generation that's being, I get ushered in. Okay, because my generation eventually will die off. But the next generation that's being ushered in, is there going to be, are they going to be so easy to accept all this stuff? Because what I'm looking at, a lot of the millennials believe anything that comes out of the media. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. Comment below.